Thunder! 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 Oh!
Welcome to Thunder Nerds. I'm Brian Hinton.
And I am Frederick Philip Von Weiss, and you are consuming the Thunder Nerds, a conversation with the people behind the technology that love what they do.
And do web good.
Pow!
Boom.
Boom. How's everybody doing?
Fantastic. You?
A little bit better than excellent, thank you. So today on the show, if you haven't noticed, we have a very special guest. Let's welcome to the show, interactive designer at Co-op Digital and a co-founder of ManchesterFinest.com, Matthew Tyas. Welcome to the show, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. Like, honestly, I've been listening to your shows for a bit. I'm in good company, man. I'm in good. This is the thing.
Yeah, we have a lot of good people.
Who I idolize, and I'm no one. So thank you very much. I appreciate this a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, our pleasure. Tip of the hat to you.
I just remembered I need to put some headphones on. I literally forgot. Is it working? Is it cool?
Oh yeah, it's fine. I mean, we might get a little bit of feedback on your end, but you know, no big deal. Whatever. Yeah. So, hey man, what have you been up to lately? I know you're working full time at Co-op Digital. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I guess you guys have co-ops in America, don't you? So like,
yeah,
everyone owns a bit of the business. So
yeah,
like,
co-op is kind of I think the start of our country really with the electric grid. Like that's a big thing. Like that's all a co-op.
So yeah, this is it. Like in England, like in like the 1800s, there was a group of people who got together and were like, it's not okay for the working class people to be treated badly. So everyone who buys things from our shop is an owner of the shop, right? And like, it's nice because England is. I mean, you've seen the election this week, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And you know, Jeremy Corbyn, that's that thing of like, it's the mix between socialism and capitalism of where it's kind of nice to be nice to people, yeah? So I enjoy working for Co-op because everyone who's a member of it owns a bit of it. They own like £1 of it. And that's amazing. And it means that you can do, some of the projects you do don't necessarily all have to be about making money or, you know, like, I mean, obviously some of them are because we've got to make money, but it's like an organization for good, and like I enjoy that. I think that's good. I think that's like a really nice idea to have. And
how many businesses are at your co-op? The co-op.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird because I like the co-op in England a few years ago was really badly managed, and this guy basically kind of stole money from it and everything went a bit wrong. So he sold our businesses. Yeah. Oh, it's really weird. But now we have a funeral care business, a food business, an electrical business. So like, you know, selling TVs and stuff. A legal business. I mean, that is a really weird mix of stuff.
Oh, like, I don't know if it's weird, but it's probably unconventional because it's such a great way to do business. You know, I was watching this great TED Talk the other day, and I put a link on our Twitter just a little bit ago from this guy named Jim Brown, and he was talking about ownership is given for capital, but why not provide ownership for work? It is just as important as money for business.
Yeah. I mean, this is like, I mean, like I always have a problem with, I think it's because of like my sort of how I've grown up, but I have a problem with stuff for the rich, nothing for anyone else. I have a massive problem with that. And I love working for Co-op because you actually feel like you work somewhere where like what you do like matters. So, I mean, I'm sure you'll ask me, but like at the moment I'm working on this funeral care thing, and working on a digital service that's for people who are, you know, they've just lost someone is one of the most interesting things I've ever done. Because, like, you just don't normally interact with that side of the world. And then you realize that like, that's a really important thing. And if you can make a digital thing that helps the people who have to do it, like, have more time with the people who are actually sad and, you know, something bad's happened, then, like, you're doing something really good. And, like, you know, it's boxes on a screen, but it's actually helping, which is a beautiful thing to be able to work on.
What is in that specific job? What is this what are you trying to solve? Like, what is the job specifically?
Yeah. So basically, sorry, I jumped into it too quick, but basically, like, so Co-op has a funeral care business, but we sort of have funeral homes all around England, and they're owned by families. It's like a family business or whatever, and everybody does funerals different. And the point is that because they do it different, but they're all owned by us. So we're kind of saying, okay, we're going to go around all of you guys. We're going to look at how you do it. We're going to talk to you, and then we're going to build something that helps you, like have more time with the people who are going through a terrible time. Like, the goal of the project is more time with families and stuff like that.
Spending the time where it should be spent rather than in that side of it.
Yeah,
absolutely. They do loads of admin. They, like, you know, they like triple fill out forms, you know. So they're like writing a form, then they're copying it onto another form, then they're copying it onto a form, and, like, okay, we can build a web form, yeah, that just captures that once, and that's great. And that, honestly, even just doing that is 70% of someone, like, being, like, happier in their job and everyone's better. But so much more we can do, like, so much more. They are ringing people up, going, I need a hearse, I need, you know, this guy to come and do this service, I need this, and they're phoning people and they're running around trying to do it. But we can make that really simple.
Yeah, you automate it.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. Like, we know where the cars are. I mean, we haven't done this yet, but we could Uber those cars, you know what I mean? We could see on a map. I mean, obviously, we've built MVP thing, but one day, why not? And then,
sure.
What's beautiful about all the people who work for it, and this is why I love the company, is that all the people who work for that company, they care about the people. They don't want to fill in forms. Like, they really don't want to fill in forms. I mean, no one wants to fill in forms because it's really boring and annoying. So there you go.
So what have you been doing with it? I know one of the big things is you set up a design system. Is that correct?
Yeah. So this is quite interesting, actually, because it's sort of changing what it was. Like, I mean, you know, design systems, just mega popular. That's what you do. Like, that's just a thing now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so the Co-op, like, rebranded a year ago, and I was maintaining our old design system, which was because literally I joined the Co-op and I was the only person who could make a website and build it. And there's, like, you know, like 33,000 staff, which for me is like, yeah, totally. Like, because the old Co-op used to buy design, and buying design is not a good thing to do. Like,
yeah, you get it. It's very fragmented when you do it that way.
Well, and yeah, exactly. Everything's a tiny bit different. You know, everything's slow. It just shouldn't be like that. It should be like,
these things have compelling needs, and you need to tell that narrative. You need to have that consistent story.
Yeah, exactly. And you need to be able to react to exactly what you need to design at that point. And if you have a team in-house who do that, they're in it, they're part of it, and they love it, and that's what they do. Whereas if you buy design in, everyone's got a different, like, take on it. Everyone wants to reinvent it. And actually, as you say, it's a narrative. It's not about reinventing it. It's let's just iterate on what we've got, you know. So, but my point is that I was like looking after this design system for a while, and then we rebranded, and it was basically a design system built on foundation, like the Zerb thing, and the reason I built it on foundation, the reason I did that was because it's well documented, so I didn't have to write any documentation. You know what I mean? I'm just like, go there. That's where it is.
Exactly. Yeah. It's nice to be able to have that already set up for if you have some developers that you're working with to say, there it is. Look at the docs. Perfectly well documented and tested.
Yeah, totally. All I'm doing is, you know, theming on the top of it, really. Fine, great. That's totally great. But then when we rebranded, and we had basically, I mean, this is like a bit of a backstory thing, so I might have to talk for a second here, even though I've already been talking. But are you guys aware of like the gov.uk websites in England?
I think I've seen them before. I remember they got updated at some point, modernized, but
yeah. So yeah, exactly. So basically, what happened was a group of people went to work for the government, and they like made doing anything online that you had to do for like tax or anything like that.
Yeah.
They made it really easy, right? They made it super simple. And basically, what happened was just after this rebrand, those guys came to Co-op. And like, I'm sat there,
that's interesting.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sat there as the one web designer. And they come to me and they're like, oh, right. Oh, you're trying to do like a thing here. Like, that's quite good. So at that point, we brought devs in, like people who could doers, you know what I mean? Doers.
Yeah, so that's why you had such an explosion all of a sudden. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's it. Like, 2 years ago, there was me and one other person, and now we have, I think, 250 people. And the thing is, it's not just 250 people. It's 250 people, like the best, like people in the country. Like it's unbelievable. Like the people I get to work with now, it blows my mind. Like how good they are.
Wow, you're very lucky in where you're at then right now, and just the things that are happening too.
Well, I learn every day. I learn, and everybody I work with questions. Nobody ever takes anything for granted. Anyway, the point is, so people came in, so we said, okay, we don't need foundation, we don't need all that stuff. We'll build it ourselves. It's fine. It's easy. So with a couple of people, we started to build like a really simple stats framework. Just, you know, a grid, some typography, like. But we spent a long time just like working on. I mean, the typography must have worked for 3 months. Like, just worked on that constantly, get it exactly right to have like because Co-op as well is a very like inclusive organisation, so it's got to be big type, easy to read. You don't want no alienation of anyone at all. So we spent a long time getting that just right. And you know, if you look at it now, it looks great, but it's simple. You know, we don't even have any components. We don't have a header. We don't have like any like drop down menu thing or anything, because we want to do it slowly and we want to do it right. You know what I mean? And we need to spend time just like crafting it. And like I say, like I'm lucky because people came in and there was stuff I'd done and they just kind of went, no, it should be like this, it should be like this, it should be like this. And also we want to base most of what we do on user research. Like, you don't, there's opinion-based stuff is cool, but really what you want to do is understand what the people who are using it need to do. So we're spending like we're kind of waiting until we get the really good feedback of like, you know, that works. I'm happy.
Sure. If you have those data scientists digest that and tell you like, actually, this is where your success is, or it's over here, and then you could start to build something off on top of that you know is proven with those metrics.
Totally. Well, this is the thing. Like, I don't really consider myself a very good designer, but what I do consider myself is that I always like to look at the whole spectrum of things that are going on. So we have user research, right, which is just brilliant to have a whole like team of user researchers who all they do every day is talk to people who use the product, who like look at the words, who like have to do a thing, and then they come back to us and go, "That's good. That's good. That's rubbish. That's good. That's crap." That's absolutely brilliant, because then everything you design becomes easy when you don't have to, like, when a person basically tells you what it should be. Like, you don't have to design it.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at your the co-op design manual, and one thing I kind of like is on each page you have a feedback at the bottom. Did you find this useful? And you can answer it, and then you immediately have a text area to tell us why. Is that actually seeing some use, and who's filling that out? Is it internal people or?
That's really interesting, actually, because we used to have like a top header at the top that said, you know, this is in development. Tell us what you think about it. But because it was at the top, like banner blindness, you know what I mean? People didn't see it.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, they weren't even seeing it.
We do like, I don't call them sprints because we do them quite slowly, but we do iterations on the design manual like every month or whatever. And we put it at the bottom because most people will scan down the page and then they'll go, yeah, like when we had the banner at the top, no feedback. Nobody used it.
Interesting.
When we had the one at the bottom, everyone uses it. But this is the thing at the moment, we're doing an iteration right now, but I get quite a lot of direct feedback on it where it's like, can you help me with this? But I don't know who they are. So this is the thing, like, you know, in a couple of weeks, there'll be a box that says, if you want me to talk to you.
Oh, and our email and everything. Yeah.
You want to keep it simple, but then you kind of like, it's good to kind of go, oh, yeah, I messed that up. But
well, that goes back to what you said before. It's all about building on those patterns. If you saw results that way, you see that that's what people want. Well, there you go, and you'll have even more success, right?
Absolutely. Like the internet is amazing because it's iteration. Like you can just change it. Like in a second, you can change it, and like that's why when I was doing design at like art school, that's why I didn't become a print designer, because I can't change it. If I mess it up, I mess it up. But if on the internet, I'm just like, oh, it's wrong, I'll change it. Someone says it was rubbish, I'll change it. Brilliant. That's how the world should be. Like, oh, it's wrong, I'll just sort it out. And now you're happy, and I'm happy, and everyone's happy. Right?
I think too, going back to what you said about you said you might not be the best designer, but I think that's worth exploring of what makes a good designer. And I don't want to go on a tangent, but I think to make a point that one of the things that makes a good designer is being able to not have a chip on your shoulder or not have some kind of deterrent where ego steps in and says, nope, my way was the right way, cross my arms. Like, to be able to accept input and be productive about it.
Well, I mean, you basically, you're entirely right. Like, there is no, like, being a designer is not about being an artist or being like, to do it like, well, and it might be sometimes, but to do a functional thing that works for human beings, it is not about you. You know, whenever I like speak to anyone or like I do any kind of workshop with people where we like sketch together, it's not about me coming up with a solution. It's about kind of, if that person doesn't want to draw, I'll ask them about what they think, and I'll draw what they say. Right? So I'm just like a conduit for that knowledge.
That's a great way to put it. I love that.
Well, that's the point. And that's why it doesn't matter that I'm not a good designer, because I mean, yeah, I can lay out some text in the browser, whatever, it's fine. But I don't really care about that. And I work with designers who do care about that, so that's great. We've got the best of both worlds. What I care about is solving a problem for a person who's got to do something on the internet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you go on the internet, I've got to do something. I don't want to be pissed off.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, and you guys built a design system to basically to not make you have to worry about the type and the layout. You worry about solving the problems. And there was a recent talk by Diane Mounter on design systems, and we'll link it in the show notes. But that's what she talked about. And there were designers that were like, I got this done so fast. I feel like I have superpowers, and I feel fake because I didn't, design it, but they laid it out using the system, and it was so rapid that like they felt like, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're solving the problem. Yeah.
That is exactly what it is. So the design manual, we have a prototyping kit. It's just a Jekyll thing.
Yeah,
right?
I saw that.
All it does is it just
flat files.
pulls in the design manual CSS, and then you put your element on the page. It looks sound. What it means is you can test your assumptions in like a day. Like,
is it live reload?
There's no point, people. Yeah, we have. I mean, we need to do better with it, but we need all sorts of like exciting stuff in there. Honestly, I'm like, this is the thing. Like, if you get me started, talking about that, we'll be here for like a week. You know what I mean? So
okay, I'll go get a cup of coffee and some.
I think Google has a limit on a week, so I don't think we can make it that much. Unfortunately. Let's try to if you guys are cool with it, if we could jump to another subject, which is I would love to talk about is Manchester's finest. So to go from the co-op and probably that entrepreneurial spirit that you have, you and a buddy started Manchester Finest. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's a funny one because I have to give full credit to my friend because it was his idea, and I'm an introvert guy. I like sitting here, writing some code, doing some things, sitting on my own. Yeah. Well, he came to me with an idea, and like I couldn't ignore this idea because like we live in a city where there was one website that basically ran the city, and it was very, very commercial. It was very like every single business is on here. It's just about everything. Very kind of like sort of mashed potato bland. Whereas at that point, it's about 7 years ago, we'd started to get like independent things, like when craft beer places and like nice little independent restaurants and all this kind of stuff started to appear. And we thought like, well, that's what people actually want to go to. Like they don't
And you didn't have any way to show that. It was just like you said, it was more that website that had more of the corporate things like, hey, have you heard of Starbucks?
Yeah, totally. It just got everything. It'd be like, oh, there's a pizza up around the corner. And it's like, well, of course there is, because there's one everywhere. But what you kind of think to yourself, like, it'd be really good if I just knew about that cool thing. Like, there's a cool thing that's happened. Like, how can I find out about that?
Yeah, like the best hidden beer gardens in Manchester.
Absolutely, exactly. And that's what's really good about that one is our city is like it's rubbish for stuff like that. Like it's really hard to find a good beer garden. So we sent a dude out to go and find them and tell people where they are. Great. But so anyway, I basically one Christmas I spent like 2 days just like knocked up the worst WordPress theme we've ever seen. Like this is before responsive as well. Like it was like 960. Like
nice. Yeah, 960 grid system. Boom.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. I've done that. Fine. Totally sorted. And I probably just every plugin in the entire world to make it actually work. And then you look at it now and you're like, plugin's like 4 lines long. What? Just write that myself. Anyway, so it's just. What I like about it is I own it, I iterate it, I change it whenever it needs to be changed. There's no control on it. It is a business, but the web bit of it is me, which is crazy because it's quite important that it doesn't break. But it's WordPress, so it's gonna be okay. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be a problem. But what's been really, really nice from like having some more connections from Co-op is that I've been able to get user researchers to like analyze our analytics properly and tell me what people are actually doing, send out surveys to people and kind of go like, what do you want? And what we realized was we did a lot of stuff that was kind of very targeted at, we thought, we had an assumption that cool people go on our website and then they go to a bar or whatever. And that isn't true. It's people from outside Manchester want to come in and have a nice meal on Saturday night. And like, that's their goal. And like, that a revelation, absolute revelation. I'm like, oh, okay. Right, great.
Yeah, definitely. If I'm coming from somewhere else and I'm going to take a trip and I'm going to Manchester and I want to learn some of the cool things going on, I might end up on your website and I might take a look around and say, oh, hey, there's that beer gunner that Brian was talking about.
Absolutely. That's where all of our traffic comes from. And like, I mean, because like I say, I have a full-time job, so I don't have time to sit there looking at Google Analytics every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I did used to look at it, and I used to see these things, and I used to think, I should do something like that. But then as soon as I got a professional on it, they were kind of like, you do realise you're completely messing this up by not like targeting people properly. And I was like, wow, that's incredible. So now we do stuff. And I mean, all I normally do is build bits of it to make it better. And it seems to do okay. People seem to like it. And that's cool. And wherever it goes, it goes. Like, it's just one of those things. You just kind of like, I'm not a planner, you know what I mean? I just do stuff. Right?
Yeah.
It goes. If I get it right, great. If I get it wrong, get it wrong. If I get it wrong, I'll change it. So.
Well, I think it's important for anyone in our industry to have some kind of side project where, I mean, if you don't have any kind of side project outside of work, I'm a little suspicious on that you might not even be trying to level up your skills, but and you might not even enjoy what you do. But it's interesting too to think about it from a standpoint of starting a business where you went out, and I know you said it was more your friend's idea, but you know, you obviously jumped in there too, and you were proactive, and you guys started this. It's pretty cool to think about doing something like this.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, like, the fact that I'm not a planner, I'm not proactive, is not necessarily how I am now. Like, I have another friend, and we've started. So this is a bit weird, but basically, wrestling in England is now really, really popular, right? But there is no way to find out about it.
Wait, you mean like old wrestling style, like Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan, or like you mean
UFC?
Like? Yeah.
You literally want me to school you on how wrestling is now?
I have no idea what it's like now. I mean, me and Brian wrestle sometimes at work, but I mean, that's different.
I'm literally going to get on a plane and come and wrestle both of you.
That sounds great. I would love to do that. Yes, please, and thank you.
Thing is, Fred, I'm friends with you on Facebook, and you're always at the gym. So, like, I'm definitely going to get schooled, and like, it's not going to end well for me.
Maybe not. Who knows? You know,
he just goes to the gym. He just doesn't do it. He doesn't do anything.
I just go and I check in, and that's about it. I go by the weights, and I'm like, all right, good day.
Yeah. Good day. To be honest, you're looking pretty weak from what I can see there. Like, your shoulders.
Probably, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I need to go to the vet because these puppies are sick.
Oh, oh man, that's really annoying. I am so British. I'm super white skin. My arms are about, they're about as thin as an iPhone cable or something.
Nothing wrong with that. I love white skin. That's what my wife got. I love it.
You know, what you probably need to eat more of is apparently I was looking at the Manchester site, and you have advertisements, and there's a place called D&D Dogs and Dough. They have a dessert pizza that's a pizza smeared with Nutella, topped with marshmallows, and the tasty treats you had as a kid. So you can have like M&Ms on this pizza. And
I don't think
this is a donut.
Where muscles come from, though. I think that's where heart disease comes from.
What are you talking about?
Okay, if you're right, I'm down there, and then I'm in a wrestle thread.
That sounds perfect. I'll wrestle you for that. That sounds good. I'm gonna take that whole thing. Hey, I wanted to ask you about something, Matt. I see that you have some heavy crates back there.
Oh,
heavy crates of records. Does that ring a bell?
There we are. Yeah, so that's a weird one as well, because it might be quite interesting for you, because basically, the thing that I do when I'm not designing stuff is I make music, and but the thing I enjoy about it is finding records that no one has. Like that's the point. Is like it's collection. You know what I mean? It's like finding some stuff and going, no one's got this. This is going to be amazing. Sampling it and making a hip hop tune out of it. And like I know that the cliche of a middle class white dude, especially from England, making hip hop is ridiculous.
I don't think so. I don't subscribe to that. I think that's whatever. Okay, I think anybody, if you have music in your heart, then you put it out there. It doesn't matter on any of that other stuff.
You just made me feel much better, so that's great. So like basically, I like finding stuff. I'm like a collector. I like to find music. I like to sample music, and I make tunes out of it. But then one of my friends from years and years ago, he started a record label, and he's a fairly well-known like hip-hop DJ. Goes to America a lot. Started DJing in America quite a lot, especially in New York. So he got loads of connections with people, and he started the label on the basis that we would make, we get like new American artists, but with English producers, to kind of bridge that gap between England and America, right?
Sure.
But the one we've done recently is so this guy, it's two brothers called Conway, right? And I made a tune for Conway, and it's fine. I mean, honestly, don't get excited. I'm B2, so not even at the A side, not even the second A side, not even the first B side. I'm the last, like the very last one. Right? I'm a humble man. Anyway. So, those guys got signed by Eminem like a month ago. Big news in hip hop.
That's amazing. That's great.
So that record will be the last independent record those guys ever did. So, like, I've done stuff with some cool people, but this is like the one where it's like, wow, like this could actually blow up, because like that might actually be sought after if they do a good album with it. But what I enjoy about it is finding stuff, making noises, just sitting at the computer having fun, like just, I don't know, pressing colourful buttons.
What do you edit in? Are you a Logic guy or what?
So I have a machine, which is like a native instruments thing, like a drum machine thing. It's a bit like an MPC. I have a chord sampler. I have a keyboard thing, and I have like an old chord synth, and I sequence it all in Ableton. Like, I am not into Logic at all. I think it is Ableton is absolutely right. It is, that's the one. It's
nice. All right.
Right. And
I'll have to send you some of my stuff. Maybe we could do a collaboration.
We can do a collaboration, but as long as you put your muscles away, that's fine.
I'll try. No problem.
You scared him, Frederick. Jeez.
I'm scared people.
I don't know why he tore that. You tore it.
A little bit. Yeah.
No, like that shirt's new. Like, don't break it.
I can't help it. That happens.
What's your drink of choice there, by the way?
Oh, so we have a German supermarket called Aldi near us, which is like a sort of a budget but very good supermarket. It happens to be across the road. Basically, full disclosure, I have some friends over tonight, so we're drinking a bit. But when I said I was coming on this, they were just like, I don't understand what you're doing. I don't understand.
That's awesome. Oh, what? What? A cast? What?
But I was like, no. Like, Chris Coyer's been on it. Like, this is a big deal. And they were like,
yeah, and on the episode, he was on it, and then he was off it for a second, and then he came back on, and then he was off again. That was a great show. But I want to have
no idea how bloody happy I am on a thing that he was on. Like my favourite man. Well, no, he's not my favourite man. My favourite man is Dave Rupert. He is
He was also on the show.
I am with you on that.
I'm not listening to that one. I'm not listening to that one.
He's my choice.
He is the genius of the internet.
Yeah, it was a really fun podcast. We'll put a link in the show notes to both of those.
Yeah.
Nice.
I wanted to ask you a quick question, going kind of back to the Manchester. How do you go about for someone who wanted to would want to start something similar to that? How do you go about connecting with local businesses and getting actually getting the content? Do you do that yourself? Do you?
You are totally asking the wrong person. This is the problem.
It's the other guy.
I wish I could do that. Honestly, I love my friend Lee so much because how he just has this manner where he can sell the benefits of a website. You know what I mean? Like a website, we've got banner adverts. I mean, nobody wants banner adverts a lot, but they're there because Lee talks to people and goes, "Yeah, but people will see it." You know what I mean?
Done.
Here's my money.
I don't want to do it, but people will see it. Okay.
But that's the thing, right, Matt? It's about that. There's always you want to do what somebody else does, and so forth. It's a recursive loop. Like you do what you do really well, he does what he does really well, and that's what it's about.
Exactly. It's about having the team. You know what I mean? You're never going to be everything. Like you
can't be an astronaut, superhero, fireman. You do what you do, and you might dabble a little bit in some other things, but you have to do that one thing.
Like I've been to space, I've put fires out, and I am also a superhero. So,
I had no idea.
I
didn't see that on your LinkedIn.
Well, it's because it's a lie. No, but this is the thing. Like you have to have nothing good happens on your own. Like no one's ever done anything good on their own. Like it's always a collection of people. It's always a collaboration. Like if anyone thinks they can do something brilliant on their own, well, they must be amazing if they can literally do something like that. But I know how to make a WordPress website. What do bloody do? He goes out and sells stuff, but then at the same time, when the website matured, I realized that my skill was optimizing it to be good for what people wanted. And it's just like you just learn as you go, don't you? Like I've never known anything really. Everything I do, I just learn as it happens to me. Like I think that's what everyone does.
Yeah, you learn the best in immersion, right?
Yeah. And then just think, oh, I'm just going to do it. It'll probably be okay. If it goes wrong,
it'll probably be okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I know, but what I do know, unfortunately, is we're coming to the near the end of the show. We have a few last questions for you, and I'm going to start it off. My question is the spotlight, something interesting you've discovered this week. Could be anything, could be barbecue, chocolate, etc. Mine isn't necessarily something I've discovered. It's the new iOS 11 that I have on my iPad here. I actually tried at the start, and Frederick can attest to this, to do the show on the iPad, and it had failed. Unfortunately, I can't show the video and show the Google Doc. Yet. Yeah, I think once the apps. What? I'm sorry.
iOS 11's brilliant then.
I mean, I think once the apps are updated to take advantage of the multitasking stuff, it might work. We'll see. But that's my pick. Frederick?
I was also going to pick that, but not really. So there you go. My thing is usertesting.com. One of my buddies reminded me about this at work the other day, and I totally forgot about the website. And I've never actually went as being a user tester. So that's one of those things I want to try out. She was telling me about how she went in and signed up for it. And, you fill in your demographics and they give you a bunch of things to test. And I think that's so valuable, not just for them, but I think for anyone that's looking at testing your own things. And you could go through and get a little bit of experience on what kind of interfaces do what kind of things, and you might build up a little bit more context in your own work.
Can I give you a cautionary tale though? Cautionary tale, usertesting.com, is that you get people who sign up for that thing who they're serial testers. That's what they do. Like they're not like, they're just there going like click, 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 click. So they get their like $1 or whatever at the end of it. You need to be
you might get a lot of that to what you're saying. To the credit of that is that you might get a lot of people that are just doing that just so they could do something at home and make a few dollars. But I did try it. About on just doing it for like yourself though, not talking about their product. But I think it's pretty interesting to take that on yourself and try it out.
I actually did use it at work, and I got some actually fairly good feedback. They were talked throughout it while they were testing it and said what their thoughts were as they were using it, and it was insightful actually.
Well, it's one of those things. It's like I always
depends
say,
who you get. Yeah.
I always say pick the right tool for the time and what you need to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you test them on paper, talk to someone, or if limited budget, you do what you need to do to get some insight. Like all insight's good. It doesn't matter who it is. So I think it's completely fine.
All right, what do you got, Matt? What do you got for what's your pick? Something.
Right. This is completely avant-garde.
Yeah.
I've got the Korg Volca keys, which is excellent because it is a synthesizer that Korg have. It's the circuits from the old 70s synths, but in this tiny little box. Yeah, tiny little.
That's
box.
beautiful.
So
how many mic inputs did that have? I didn't see. Is it just the one?
It's plug in there. It takes batteries, man. You can take it on the train and stuff.
What? How many batteries? What kind of batteries?
I just put it in my pocket and just walk around.
That's
sound
crazy.
Like a John Carpenter film. I just walk behind people going, like I'm on a John Carpenter film or something, which is great. That was my thing. I think that is an excellent piece of technology.
Where can someone find that? Is that can I go on Amazon and just do a search for that?
Yeah,
they have it there.
Amazon.
Yeah.
£139, which is probably maybe 160 American dollars.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. All right, yeah, that's pretty cool. I have 2 questions for you, and I think I'll skip the one because I believe if I always ask people, if you weren't doing this, what would you be doing? And I think your answer is probably music, unless it isn't. And a lot of people have at least a good, and Brian might argue with me on this, but I think 99% of the guests that we've communicated with always talk about that they had some kind of transition from music to design or music to development, what have you. But I could see that that's definitely one of your loves. So let me ask you my last question on here. And it's a question that some people could find relevant because of life experiences that they have with just, getting older, things happen. But some people ask, what's your favorite color? And you say, well, I like red because of this. And you describe what you see in yourself. Or some people say, if you could be an animal, what animal would you be? And you're kind of describing what you would like to be. I would like to be a bird because I would like to fly. And that's kind of saying that you would like freedom. But what I'm asking you is basically, what is your vision of heaven? When you die, what do you see? What's your heaven?
That's a good question, right? God, I didn't prepare for this one.
Good.
But this is gonna sound pretty weird, but my life is pretty good. Like, I have a lovely wife. I have a really nice house. I enjoy what I do. I'm happy. I don't think there's a thing that's better than that. Like, I'm okay. Everything's okay, and that's fine. And I don't think I can wish for anything more than that. Because
when you're happy, you have everything you need.
Well, I think it'd be a little bit. I just think it'd be a bit sort of mean of me to want any more, because what I've got is really good. Like, the world's messed up, isn't it? So how dare I want more than what I've got? You know what I mean? Like, I'm cool, man. I'm in heaven, basically. There you go. Done.
I love that.
I've got a question for you guys, by the way.
Sure, yeah. Brian's 4 foot tall, if that's your question.
So I'm not quite sure how to answer this question.
What?
It smells like peanut butter. What?
Yes, I do.
That's his nerds, yeah? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Thundercats.
Like Thundercats.
So if you were a Thundercat, but you had to mix that name up with code, what would you be called? I've already thought of some, by the way.
I'm sorry. I guess maybe Brian got it, but I didn't understand the question. So
sorry. I apologize. It's all right. Shall I just tell you what I've come up with?
That will provide context.
So okay, so Mantra,
right?
Mantra, but with man. You know what I mean?
Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Panthro, right? That's another one.
Mm-hmm.
And also, this is my favorite one: Lion Node.
That's really good. That's really,
Sorry,
really
I
good.
knew the question wouldn't work, but I was so happy. I've been sitting this afternoon thinking of these, but I couldn't work out how to ask you the question, so I apologize.
No, that's good. I like that.
I don't think I'm going to have a clever one for that right away. Oh, you got some? Ryan, let's hear it.
No, I like Lion Node. I'm going to take possession of Lion Node.
Oh, I thought you would have went with Chitara. I thought that would have been more you, but
or Lion Node.
I have the thicker. Although I don't know, JD has a thicker mane, so
yeah,
he might be more the Lion Node.
I was trying to come up with something for Panthro, but Panthro.
Panthro.
Oh, Mother Farmer. That's pretty good. I like that. Yeah.
It's not great, but it was all I could do.
I'm gonna have to really think about these later on tonight as I sip on some good old potato juice.
That's everyone who comes on. Like, what Thundercat code name have you got? You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah. Oh, I like that a lot.
Panthreckle? No.
Oh, nice. Yes.
That's kind of good. It's not bad. I mean, it sucks a little bit, but that's pretty good.
I mean, it doesn't roll off the tongue, but it's good. It's good.
It's no Lion Node.
Yeah, it's not Lion Node. I mean, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I like that. Well, hey, Matthew, thank you so much for being on the show. It was an absolute pleasure having you on. A lot of insightful tips and some cool takeaways. And I really didn't have all the context of what you've been doing, so it's great to catch up.
It's wonderful for you to have me, man. I'm really, really, really humbled that you actually wanted to speak to me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. No, absolutely. Especially when there's people that actually do honest work and love what they do. That's who we want to talk to
and do it good.
It's honesty. I just want people to not be annoyed when they're on the internet. That's what I want. That's all I want. Oh, look, I've gone on the internet. Everything's fine. That's all I want.
We're going to have to start an intranet, and we'll do that, some private internet club. I think that's picking up. I heard about that in 1997.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.